Hey guys, I just wanted to give you a little bit of a summary of what your homework's going to be about. It's all about transitioning into percents, fractions, decimals, and percents. So right now we just have models and we want to write the representation as a fraction of the model. So if you look at number 1, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spots. So that's your total. So your denominator should be 8. And then what represented is the shaded area. So 1, 2, 3 boxes are shaded. So that's 3 over 8. Okay, so the circle. So how many pieces is it cut into? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 8 pieces. How many shaded? 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 4 over 8. And then hopefully you just simplify it to 1/2. So these grids, so I can do 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's a 4 by 4, which means there should be a total of 16, 4 times 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So that means your total is 16. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 4 over 16, so it's 1/4. Then you can pause this at any time, so you could do the next few by yourself and then see if you're going to right or wrong by checking it with me. You can pause it at any time. So for 4, let's count all the triangles we have. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So our 8's our total. And then 1 is shaded, so it's 1 over 8. You can't reduce that because they don't have any common factors. So for number 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it's out of 12 as your total. And then how many shaded? So 12 minus 2 is 10. So let's see what the common factor is. So we do 2. So just reduce it by 2. So that's 5 over 6. So it's 5/6. And then the last one, you have a circle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 pieces. Let's see how many pieces are shaded. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 out of 16. Greatest common factor is 2, so divide both by 2. So that's 3 on top and 8 on below. So 3 out of 8. So that's just taking these models and making them into fractions. So that's part 1. Part 2 is going to be taking that, if I can get this, taking that model and making it into a fraction, decimal, and maybe a percentage. So all these right here that look like this are a base 100, so that means there's 100 squares in that. You can double check by counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then counting down 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's a 10 by 10, which means 10 times 10 is 100, so there's 100 squares. So what it wants you to do is make it into a fraction, decimal, and a percentage. So let's count how many squares are shaded. So that's 1 row of 10, 2 rows of 10, 3 rows of 10, so that's 30. So your fraction would be 30 out of 100. So you should know 100 is always out of, or percent is always out of 100. So if that's out of 100, then the top number is your percentage. So that would be 30%. And then if I simplify it, that's 3 over 10 just by dividing by 10. If I divide each of them by 10, because that's the greatest common factor. And then 3 over 10 as a decimal is 0.3. So this square as a percent is 30%. As a fraction is 3 over 10. And as a decimal is 0.3. So just to recap that too, if you have a denominator of 100, that means then that is out of 100, and percents are always out of 100. So you can make the numerator into a percentage. Again, you can pause at any time to see if you can figure out the next couple of examples. This one, it clearly is all shaded, so the amount that it's out of is 100, and the amount that is shaded is 100. So the fraction is going to be 1 over 1, or just plain 1. The decimal is going to be 1.0. And the percentage, since the whole thing is shaded, it's 100%. And then for C, let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it is the 10 out of 10. So that means your denominator is 100. And then let's see how many are shaded. So that's row 10, 20, 30, 1, 2, 3. So it's 33. So it's 33 out of 100. They don't have any common denominators or common factors, so you can't simplify it. So that's your fraction. That means it's out of 100, so your percentage is automatically 33%. And then that, your denominator is a place value for your decimal places. So that means 100th place. So 33 is in the 100th place. So 0.33. And if you see, it ends in the 100th place. So it's the second part. And then your final part is to understand how to move percents into decimals and decimals into percents. So this example is, if you have 23%, you remove the percent symbol, so you make it 23. You either divide by 100 or just move the decimal point 2 places to the left. So 23, the decimal point would be right to the right of 3. So all I would do is move the decimal point 2 places to the left, 1, 2, and then your decimal will be 0.23. So just if you start with a percentage to make it into a decimal, all you do is move the decimal point 2 places to the left. So let's practice some. So for these, you want to write the percent as a decimal. So all we're going to do is take the decimal point, which is right after the 9 right here, and move it 2 places to the left. 1, 2. So that as a decimal would be 0.19. Okay. So for this 2%, to make it in a decimal, I'm going to take the 2%, there's the decimal right here on the right side of the 2, move it 2 places to the left, 1, 2, but there's this gap right here, so you have to fill it in with a 0. So this is actually 0.02 as a decimal. So here's 7.5%. It gives you a decimal, so all you do is you take that spot of the decimal, move it 2 places to the left. So 1, 2, fill that gap with a 0, so it's 0.075. Okay. And then this next section wants to write the decimal as a percent. So here's some key things to write the decimal as a percent. So you're going to take 0.36, multiply by 100, or just move the decimal point 2 places to the right. So it's the opposite of what we just were doing. So we're going to move it 2 places to the right when you have a decimal and you want to make it into a percentage. So I'm going to take the decimal, move it 2 places to the right, so that's 36, because the decimal's right here. You can also do 36.0, it's okay. And then I'm just going to add the percentage symbol. So it's 36%. So let's go back to the slide and try those extra problems. All right, so write the decimal as a percentage. So you're going to start with the decimal, and you're going to move it 2 places to the right. 1, 2, so it's 89%. So for this 0.54, move it 2 places to the right, so it's 54%. And then for 0.1, take the decimal and move it 2 places to the right, 1, 2. You gotta add a 0 for that whole, so it's 10%. Okay. So again, if you're taking a decimal, making it into a percentage, move it 2 places to the right. Alright, so for this example, we have on a math test, you get a 92 out of 100 points. What is the following is not another way of expressing 92 out of 100. So 92 out of 100 means 92 over 100. So if we write that fraction, let's see if we can reduce that. So if I divide each by 2, that's out of 50. So that's 46. And then they're both even again, so I'm going to divide by 2. And that's out of 25. And 23 is on top. So I know this one is an answer. That's equivalent because that's what I just got. And then this is out of 100, so I know that it could be written as 92% because percent is always out of 100, so that's an answer. And then if I make that percentage into a decimal, 1, 2, 2 places to the left, that's 0.92, so that's the decimal answer of 92%. So that is a way of expressing that. So the only way of not expressing it is C. Again, you can pause this at any time to go over any example. Okay, so right now we have the figure shows the portions of UV rays reflected by 4 different surfaces. How many times more UV rays are reflected by water than by sea foam? Alright, so there's multiple ways of doing this, but we're just talking about water and sea foam. So we're going to focus on sea foam and water. So notice that one's in percentage and then one's in fraction. I want to get them the same type of number. So let's convert percentages into, let's say, fraction. So 25 out of 100, because percent is always out of 100. Then we're going to take our water and make it into a common denominator, which means I'm going to multiply by 4. I'll multiply by 4. So that is 84 out of 100. So I want you to know how many more times is UV reflected by water than sea foam. So since my denominators are the same, you're going to look at your numerator. So you're going to figure out how many more times. So 25 times what number is equal to 84? Figure out how many more times. So you're going to work the opposite of that and you're going to do division. So you're going to figure out 84 divided by 25. And if I use my handy dandy calculator, because we can use our calculators now, do 84 divided by 25 is 3.36, which rounds to, does it say round? So we're going to leave it as 3.36. Okay, and then that's how many more times the water is reflected than the sea foam. Okay, so you are going to, just remember, in order to make decimals into percentages, you're going to move the decimal place 2 places to the right. And then in order to make the percentages into decimals, move the decimal 2 places left. And then hopefully this helps you out. You can pause and rewatch it as many times as you want. Let me know by emailing me or Google Classrooming on the stream if you have any comments or concerns. Yeah, let me know. Hope you have a good week.